Hi everyone, it's Caroline. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're having a wonderful time in your craft areas or relaxing, taking some time for yourself. I'm taking some time for myself right now to work in my latest spine journal, which is neutral, more shabby, chic, and I just glued down this little ribbon. This was a scrap of a packaging ribbon that I had, and I made it thinner, and I just put a little bow up here. I'm using scraps, and I'm going to be doing some more on my painted pages. I did some painting before I went to bed, and I was thinking maybe I could work on this page here and see what I can use up. And I do have a few things picked out here, trying to keep the scraps that I want to use for this journal separate. And I have this little basket with photos that I've already used. I've photocopied some of them, and I'm going through my album that I have, vintage photo album from my mom's neighbor. Also using some magazine cutouts that I have. This is a scrap that I did when I painted this last night. I had this scrappy piece of cardstock, so I was just playing around with my little punch, and I made this tiny little edger, and I could use that down here. And I have a receipt that we had, and I coffee dyed it, and then I did some painting over top, and I could use that in here too. And I have some packaging that I've been ripping off little bits and pieces. So instead of using cardboard, which I have a little bit of cardboard in here, but I thought it would be fun as a background to use some of this. And I can tear it right off, tear a little piece, and keep it long for the page. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Taking advantage of the summer weather. And I was hoping that in my photos here that I could have a long photo. I can cut some. Oh, look at her. Wow. And this is a photocopy that I took. I could use that. That would stand out a little bit more. I'm going to use this. I think I'm going to use this side here. Keep it light and fresh. And I'm going to put an edge down here. Just want to do some layers, some long layers. Take this off down here. I think what I want to do, instead of having just a flat one piece, one edge, I'll just do some edges like this. I'm just going to start gluing it down and see what happens. I can turn this upside down because it can be covered up. Tear it up a little bit like that. I'll just do some layers down here. I think I will go this way. Crunching my little edges, the straight edges, and I'm going to glue this some of this will probably get covered up. I think I'm going to use some more lace. Well, I don't have any lace on here yet, but using this little scrap to give a little extra right there. I think I'm going to add some fabric. Some of the fussy cuts I did from O Dulcina. I can use some of those in here too. I love using these. I think I'm going to put this piece over here. And then I'm going to use my little cluster. Well, I just grabbed a little bit of thread that I had going. And then I'm going to have this piece of lace. Tuck in my little threads. I think I'll fold some of this over. Gives texture, softness. Some of the lace up at the top. Nice breeze out there. A little piece of a strip from an old pillowcase of mine. It's a silk one. And I just made this tiny bow. I'm going to put it up here with these little roses. Just a hint of roses up here in the corner with the bow. And I'm going to let that dry, and then I can flip the page and do another one. That's pretty dry. I'm going to flip it to this page that already has paint on it. And I think I will work on this side. What I'll do is I'll add white, very white cardstock. I'll use some of this. Oh, that is a practice. Give myself a fold, and it's a little easier. I don't know where I'm going with this. Now I will put a little bit of ink on here, but not dark. I think I'll add my frayed burlap. It's not too dark. See if this sponge works. That looks a little bit dark. Looks a little dark for me, so I have a wipe handy. Smudge that a little bit, which, yes, that is working. Well, I like the way that turned out, so what I'll do here, do the same thing. A little more aggressive with it because now I know I can use my wipe. That's really big. Might be too big for what I want to do. Well, I inadvertently crumpled up I was looking at this side of the page just from a magazine I've been using. I crumpled it up and then I realized that it had this beautiful flower, and it's a zinnia, and Amy Newensinger, she did that. She took the photo. So anyway, I just want to give credit to her. I'm going to use this in here, and it's not vintage or old or anything, but now that with the crumples in here, kind of looks like that. I'm glad I rescued it because I really wanted to keep it, and then I was cleaning up and only saw this side, didn't check both sides. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is fussy cutting at least one side of it. Take it down even more. I won't be careful this time. Not as careful. Could go this way, and that hugs this side. I like that better. Okay. And the wipes are really for my gluey hands, but I like to, if I could use it to spread some ink around, that works out really well. This page, as far as I'm thinking right now, I don't think it's going to have any lace on it. It's a pretty big page. Keep my eyes open for large images like this. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. I could have used the text over here, but I don't want to cover up all the paint. So I'm going to use the same, see if it stands out. There. I have this rough piece of drop cloth that I had been cutting from, and I took a chunk out of it. It really ripped into shreds, but I don't mind that. I'm going to put this on the edge over here. Actually, I think I'll extend it up there. It's a texture driven, once again. It's always about the texture. And I'm not unraveling this or unfolding it. I'm kind of leaving it the way it is. There's a lot down here, so I might have to take some off. But it's great in small pieces. Well, let's see how this is going to turn out. And I think I am going to cut this out. I wasn't going to, and now I've decided, because now I have the texture. I don't want to cover it up with the paper. I'll do one side, and then I'll see how I can finagle that. No, I have to take the whole thing off. That's why I did that little bit of text. So, okay, I'm going to take off. Oh, that might work too. Put some of these threads over the top. I was looking at the flower, and this page was distracting, and I know I'm going to be covering it up, but I thought I would give it another layer of white And at least it'll be ready to go. A little more neutral. Might as well use it up. And I want to put something at the top. Well, I still have this big chunk. This is way too heavy. Let's see if I can get a little piece of this. I just took a strip off of the piece of fabric. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to put some glue on the top of my page. And I'm going to start working pick the center right here. Just start playing and working it. A lot of texture, a lot of layering. I'm going to make this one on an angle. This was blowing in the wind from my window, and I'm going to put this on here today, but I don't know where to put it. I went ahead and I put the treasure today. This was a practice stamp that I did, and I added 2 of my little rhinestones on the end. I'm going to leave it like this. I can always add more, but I think I love the simplicity. Well, I'm continuing on. I found more scraps, and I'm going to do this page, this second half. And this is a scrap. It was in my fabrics. I'm going to use this on the bottom. I'm making a pocket. I already have all these items around me, and I have this little piece of gold dots, and it's going to go up here. I'm going to use that. I'm just having so much fun. I don't want to leave. And this is the last piece of my fabric paper. I took out some of my pink ribbon and started embellishing this little piece of fabric here, and I'm going to cover the back of it. That needs to be covered. I already measured off this last little piece of scrap. I can still probably piece this together. Nothing fancy. I added this from a piece of digital that I've had, and I put some scraps together to make a tab. I did some journaling on the back, and I wanted to keep the tab papers because that's a lot of fabric. And these butterflies are also some digitals I've had. My tag just fits. This is the last page that I did at the last minute, just using some more of my scraps, a few digital pieces that I had in my little container. And then the leftover, this is the final piece of my fabric paper that I had made, and I used a little bit of lace and some ribbon to embellish it. I put a scrap tab at the top, and I added some paper at the back to journal on. And then I just made this quick pocket. So fun, so easy. The other page that I did today, this page has a few layers of scraps with a piece of packaging. I wanted to use that instead of cardboard, just for the weight, for the thickness of it. And then I added scraps, pieces of digital, another scrap that I practiced my lacy edge punch on it. And then this was a photocopy of a photo that I took, and then I just made it smaller by tearing it and putting it back together. Pretty layers are starting to really show. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you had fun doing whatever relaxes you and gives you joy. I hope that this inspires you to use your scraps and whatever you have around. I'll see you in the next video. Always be adventurous and stay fresh. Bye for now.